Do you think that plants can see colors and perceive their environment? Well, this study says yes. This is a couple years old study, um, and it is on a tropical vine that is a mimic, and it's actually the only known plant mimic that will change its leaf shape to mimic the plants growing around it. But the thing about this is that it's not connected to those plants. This is Boquila trifoliolata, and it is a Argentinian rainforest vine, but it's not parasitic, so it's not physically attached to these plants. So when they discovered this, they were kind of like, what is the mechanism here? And it's pretty confusing. So at first, they thought that there was some kind of airborne chemical or maybe horizontal gene transfer or like bacteria in the leaves that the plant was detecting, that it was mimicking the plants around it. But then basically this study came out and they tested it on a plastic plant. So they put the plastic plant right next to it, and the vine grew up the plastic plant, and guess what? It mimicked the leaf shape on the plastic plant. So it kind of blew everything that we knew about this plant out of the water. So this is Boquilla in the wild. This is the wild type form. It's not mimicking anything here. So it'll be trifoliate, as the name suggests. 3 leaves. Kind of looks like poison ivy a little bit, except they're not related. And each little leaflet will have 3 lobes on it. So the lobes can kind of look like sassafras in a way, but not really. But yeah, they'll have 3 lobes on it if it's not really mimicking anything. But that'll change if it's mimicking something, as we'll see in a second. So here's the wild type form again. 3 lobes, not mimicking anything. And basically, the plant that they tested this on had really narrow linear leaves with no lobes on it. So it's a huge difference, and here it is. This is the mimic leaf that it was producing. So you can see there's no lobing here. They had significantly different areas and lengths and widths and venation. They tested that with a bunch of stats, so they are significantly different. It is definitely mimicking it, and I mean, they look completely different. So kind of impressive that this thing can do this. But you might ask why it's doing this. So why evolve this really complicated thing that no other plant has ever evolved? And they think that it is a form of Batesian mimicry. So this happens in butterflies a lot, where one non-toxic species will evolve to mimic a toxic species, even though they're not toxic. The original species isn't, because they're trying to deter predators. So this might be a way to mimic toxic plants in its natural environment to be preyed upon less. So how does the plant see? So this idea was actually brought up in 1905 and then pretty much forgotten about until recently. But they're called plant ocelli. I think that's how you pronounce it. But basically, there are these little cup-shaped epidermal cells right on the leaf surface. So just basically the surface of the leaf, the part that gets the most light. And they're little cups. So it's kind of like a primitive eye. It's like how eyes evolved in animals. And a lot of things have these. Algae have them. Everything seems like everything that's alive has these pretty much. But plants have them too. And there's kind of little known on them. We don't really know if certain plants have more or less of them. But Boquilla certainly has them and can see colors and shapes of leaves. And it just usually mimics the things growing nearest to it. So basically, these cups intercept light coming in from different angles, and they can basically see from that. I mean, it's a very primitive eye, but yeah, it's just on the leaf surface, and we don't know if all plants have these. It seems like the algae that plants evolved from have these. A lot of them do, so it's likely that a lot of plants do this. And yeah, so this is how we currently think that Boquilla sees and can mimic leaves growing near it, and the colors of leaves, the veination, the shapes, even plastic plants. So, yeah, really cool.